Hey guys, what's been happening? Welcome back to more second generation Wi-Fi. Now, I know this kind of upload is quite out of the blue. I should explain myself what happened to the series. But you know what, that would have been extremely boring, so I'm just gonna go straight to the match itself and maybe try to explain some stuff at the end of this video. But don't worry, you guys have told me you like this series, you really want me to bring you guys more. And you know what, I'm actually glad, because second generation is one of the generations I'm enjoying the most, even more than Black and White 2. Because I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys, I've been playing Black and White so much that I'm getting a bit sick of it. It's just so much stuff has changed, it's too much to handle at the moment. So I believe I'm gonna try to mix it up a little bit, try to make my experience a little bit more fresh by going back to the older days. So here we have a Jolteon against Vaporeon, do have the upper hand, a big upper hand. I'm gonna go for the T-Bolt. And the second generation stuff maxed out, the defensive of all the Pokemon are greatly increased by showing this a little fortress with pathetic special defense that isn't all that pathetic, but it's quite pathetic when comparing to his defense. It's gonna eat 2 T-Bolts without going down, so that is quite impressive. I was kind of fearing the possible Earthquake, but seeing how much Fortress does take the T-Bolt, there is no way Fortress is gonna take me out with one single unstepped Earthquake, that's for sure. And I kind of just stay in to try to cripple it down, because Fortress is one of those very potent Pokemon in the second generation, because whatever you do, Fortress is always gonna put up the spikes, at least one layer, because the Fade is nearly impossible to one-shot, even from the special side. Outside of him being weak to fire, that is the only typing that can one-shot it. But outside of that, I mean, without any boosts involved, the Fade is always gonna, be putting up at least one layer of spikes. At most, explosions may be coming my way, but he actually decided to go for the Toxic. I believe he didn't restore his PP, because this game doesn't really hold your hand. You don't restore your PP, you're gonna go into a match with 0 PP on that certain move. So, it's not gonna be holding your hand there and telling you, okay, you forgot, well, I'm just gonna provide you, this game is hell no, you forgot, now pay the price. We're gonna go to Xenon, because I'm deciding, well, I can take the crunch with Machamp, but then again, Fire Blast may be coming my way, and majority of these Houndooms tend to run Fire Blast over Flamethrower. Lackable accuracy, but at the same time, I still kind of prefer Flamethrower, even after Smogon decided to run Fire Blast on it, because stuff in here are extremely bulky. As you can see right here, Flamethrower would have still been a solid 2 hit, to where Fire Blast didn't one-shot me. And when it comes down to extreme power, with that low PP range, I don't know, but I believe second generation doesn't really handle this all that well, low PP, because majority of times it comes down to a PP stall situation, and you want to have as much PP as you possibly can have, because as you can see, I've taken the Fire Blast quite well, and I did force him out with the power of the angry Marowak's Earthquake, but he does have a Levitate Pokemon at his disposal, being his mighty Dragonite. I actually like that sprite. But then again, Dragonite sprites were always nice to look at. I'm just gonna go for a Rock Slide to threaten him, but I do get a flinch. I was kinda, at first I was thinking, well, Marowak is one of the most powerful Pokemon in the game. With that massive attack, this thing does roll over your team if you're not ready for it. Especially as this one is +2 right now, with Baton Pass, Chain, +2 speed to the mighty Marowak. But unfortunately, I don't get a second flinch. If I would have gotten it, stuff would have maybe been looking pretty bad for him. But then again, I'm pretty sure he's got a Pokemon that can still stop me. I didn't have any sword answers involved, so I was kind of lacking power at that point. Still, I should have predicted the Dragonite coming in, just ages ago, and decide to go for something else outside of Earthquake, because that's another thing. There was no team preview. Future Generation did introduce team preview, did kind of give me knowing that, give us all knowing what's a true lead now. People are gonna expect it, but then again, at the same time, people may expect them to expect that lead and do something else. But really, lots of things have changed by the team preview, and after time, we did kind of embrace the whole thing. But if I would have had the choice, I would have always turned it off. And I'm pretty sure majority of others would have done the same. Back in the fourth generation, just not knowing what they still have. Every time now I go on the team preview, I tend to write all the Pokemon down, and it's more mind games what you need to have. So that's kind of like the benefits, what you need to have in order to win still. But at the same time, I don't know, but just the element of surprise is already gone when those Pokemon were already revealed as the battle didn't start yet. But it's something we need to embrace, and at the beginning I didn't like it kind of get used to it, but I still prefer without team preview. What am I talking about here? Kind of going off topic here, but we should be talking about the game itself. Gengar, it's gonna take our moves. Then again, I'm just gonna go for the T-Ball because I want to do as much damage to it as possible, so my Houndoom at most can easily revenge it with Pursuit. But he does go for the Explosion, and that's something that Gengar is kind of known for in the second generation, going for the Explosion, so even Snorlax are not gonna be liking that, especially as all stats are quite maxed out, so Gengar's attack isn't all that pathetic compared to the new generations. You know, new generation being limited to the 510 EVs, it makes sense. So after Jolteon being taken down, stuff aren't looking too good because I do have a Starmie, I do have a Machamp, I do have a Snorlax, but he does have an Houndoom, so in my case I'm faster than him and he may just stay in, but from my experience there is no way a Surf will take him out. But the same can be said about Houndoom, because Houndoom does have respectable special defense in here, and Starmie does have respectable, well, you know, just saying that Surf should not take him out in one shot and Crunch should not take me out. But then again, Spikes did, it stole, maybe it would have been enough, but I unfortunately get a crit. On his side of the video, because he did upload his side of the video, he told others that he's kinda sure that crit didn't matter, but from my experience, when you're playing this game for very long, you tend to feel how much stuff will do. And this is one of those moments when I start to feel like Surf would have never one-shotted. You can do the calcs, make stuff a bit more interesting. If I was right, that is, Surf would have never taken down that Houndoom. But, you know, let's just get straight to it. We have a Misdrevious, I always have this hard time pronouncing the name. That thing does have Thunder, and it's gonna paralyze me, and as you can see, even a super effective Thunder did a little bit over half. It is on stab, but it's still Thunder. It's got that 120 base power, you know, behind it, but it was not enough, and I didn't want to switch out because I'm kind of thinking that just dish out enough damage to where Pursuit from Houndoom should be more than plenty, but I didn't really have the paralyzations in mind at that certain moment of time, because if I would have predicted the paralyzation, yeah, I would have most likely switch out. You know, I don't want my Pokemon to get paralyzed. Then again, I do have a Snorlax, but those things tend to take, the last time I faced them, they had Mean Look, they had the move that puts you to sleep, and it was just a pain to deal with, so I didn't want to straight off switch out to my Snorlax, so I switch out to my Hellhound, predicting him to switch out, fearing the Crunch or the Pursuit, kind of going towards Crunch because Pursuit does hit you on the switch, so if he would, you know, predict the Pursuit, he would most likely stay in and at least take two. But then again, I would have just Crunch in the next turn, but he does switch out and at least takes one. As you can see, that's 80 base power, and it is special in this generation, and it still took it quite nicely there. He's gonna switch out to his Vaporeon. Those are his two last remainings. I have my Machamp. I'm kind of thinking, and this is not a resting sleep talking Machamp, because I'm really not a fan of sleep talk in this gen and how it works. If you guys don't know, if you go for the rest and somebody damages you on that turn, if you go for the sleep talk and you get rest, the rest resets, but you recover all that HP damage. It is competitively based, you know. It's a nice addition, I guess, but I'm really not a fan of it. So I don't really want to be dealing with this, especially on the Wi-Fi. You guys can use it against me if you want. I don't really mind that, but I'm not gonna be using it. For now, he's gonna go for the Surf, and yeah, Snorlax is not taking that as well as I would expect to. You know, Snorlax is a second generation god. There is no denying this. Second generation OU Pokemon, pretty much the king of OU. The same can be said about Vaporeon. Vaporeon does get the growth, which does raise her special attack, and it's something that Vaporeon does lack. You know, it would have always been nice. In to respect, all the stats she's got outside of attack and speed are really nice. Even defense and, you know, combination with that HP she's got, you know, that's a good Pokemon. But as you can see, this Surf is dishing out more than plenty to me, to where I cannot risk the possible, you know, crit when I go for the rest, and I don't want to go for the rest making stuff just too long for, you know, for both of us. So I'm just gonna decide to go at least +2 and kind of hope that the damage he was dishing out to me were not minimum. And guessing how much this Surf will do, I guess the stuff he was dishing out were quite going up to the maximum, because yeah, that surely was not close to taking me out. I'm just gonna go for the double edge with +2. It's still better than +1. If I would have decided to rest and him getting crits, that wouldn't really looking too well for me. But even with +2, double edge will not be enough to take down the Vaporeon, and I'm coming down close to my last two guys, which is Hellhound and my Machamp. Machamp can easily handle Vaporeon, but then again, you know, Vaporeon, who knows, I believe Vaporeon can normally outspeed Machamp, and she can just go for the rest and making stuff unnecessarily long, maybe even threatening at that point. You know, that low HP Vaporeon had, Crunch should be more than plenty to threaten it down, and that's exactly what happened. His last Pokemon is gonna be coming in here, and I can easily proceed to go for the Crunch pursuit. Whatever I decide to go for, he's gonna go for the Protect, making stuff unnecessarily long, because in this case, you know, it doesn't matter how much lefties you're gonna gain, you can get Protect 3 times in a row, even 4 times in a row, and Crunch should be more than plenty to take you out, I'm guessing, from the damage that Pursuit did to him back there. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for the Crunch, and that should be game. So good game, Keldeo, will leave his link in the description. Thanks for having a match with me here, especially now, you know, I've actually emailed some people. I had a list of suggestions, didn't get a response, but that email was still pretty fresh. I want to talk about something a bit. Lately, as I was looking for some matches on the Skype, there were people responding, and that's really nice to see that people are still playing this generation. They're still being active on it. But there were people that told me, you know, I should revive a Zachat, and maybe this is a topic I was talking about before, but you know, I want to mention, guys, if you are in any way, shape or form involved with this generation, first generation, second generation, you're battling people, I kind of want to ask you guys to help us out by letting people know to go check out the Zachat. You know, go on the Zachat, face each other there. I'm gonna do the same from this point on. This is a plan to get everybody involved with this generation. You know, you're playing second generation, get in there, get active with others. You know, let's try to revive that Zachat. Every now and then I will get in there as well, as I'm gonna be looking for second generation's battles quite a lot. I'm gonna be looking for some underuse as well, because I'm enjoying OU in here. I tend to feel it's quite balancing by how stuff are extremely defensive, but you know, it's fun. It's a fun tier, and it's a fun game to play. It's really easy, and the editing takes little to no time, no effort. Not to mention that the file sizes are extremely small. But if you are, you know, battling somebody from YouTube, if you are battling somebody on Skype, just go on the Zachat, both of you, and maybe you're gonna find somebody else that wants to play you, and you know, having easier time in general is what we're really looking for here. The real reason why I made that list, because if it's hard for me to find matches, then I cannot even think how hard it is for somebody else that, you know, doesn't have like 1,000 people on Skype. And not trying to brag here or anything, I want to help everybody out on that one. But that's it, you know, one single person cannot revive a Zachat. All I can do is plug it in my second generation videos description. Go check it out. If you want to get involved with this game, feel free to do so. I made a guide to get in here and have a match with us. Zachat, again, cannot be saved by one person, but it can be saved by many if they all just stick together on this one and help each other out. So if you have a match, just get on the Zachat. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. I just want to make it clear the second generation is going to be coming, guys. I didn't end this series. I never plan on ending this series. There will be 3 series involved in this channel. I'm gonna try to bring you some 5th generation and new, because I want to play a bit creative nowadays. As I'm getting a bit tired of Pokemon Black and White, I need to do something. I need to do something about this, about my style lately. I was playing a bit too Smogon-like. You know, my whole team was revolving around it, and I need to change my style. Pokemon Battle Revolution, as well as Pokemon 2nd generation. You know, I want to bring you guys variety. The stuff you have subscribed to me for Pokemon Wi-Fi battles, but yet having much more generations involved, not just one single one. So guys, hope you've enjoyed. If you did, click that like button. It really helps the series grow, as the more you support it, the more this video gets out there, the more people can see it and hopefully get involved with it, as I do have a guide in the description to help them out. Thank you for your time, and until next time, Xenon out.